cremate the dog and bury it with Betsy.
Welcome back, everyone, to another journey into the depths of true crime. Today, we're peeling back a fresh layer in a story that's haunted us since it broke. The deaths of Hollywood titan Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa. It's March 23rd, 2025, and just when we thought this tale couldn't twist any further, newly released police body cam footage has dropped a bombshell. A chilling request from Gene's daughter Elizabeth has the world buzzing, and the shadows of that secluded Santa Fe home are whispering secrets louder than ever. Let's step into this enigma, frame by frame, and see what's come to light. Cast your mind back to February 26th. A groundskeeper pulls up to the Hackmans' $3.3 million retreat in Santa Fe, New Mexico, a place carved out of the desert for privacy, a sanctuary for a couple who'd turned their backs on Hollywood's glare. He's there for routine work, but something's off. Two dogs, Bear and Nikita, roam loose. Unusual for pets always kept close. He peers through a window, and his blood runs cold. Gene Hackman, 95, lies motionless in a mudroom, sunglasses on, cane by his side. Betsy Arakawa, 65, is crumpled in a bathroom, a tipped-over space heater and scattered pills framing her fall. And, in a crate nearby, their Kelpie mix, Zinna, is dead too. The scene is frozen, eerie, like a still from one of Gene's own films. Only this time, there's no script to follow. Deputies swarm the property, and the Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office rules out foul play fast. No signs of a break-in, no chaos beyond the quiet decay. But the how and why. That's where the fog rolls in thick. Gene's pacemaker tells part of the story. Its last beat logged on February 18th. The medical examiner says cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's took him. A slow exit for a man who'd outrun bullets on screen. Betsy's fate is stranger. Hantavirus, a rare rodent-borne killer, snatched her around February 12th, confirmed by cell phone records showing her desperate calls to a clinic that day. She'd canceled an appointment to care for Gene, not knowing she was already slipping away. Zinna, crated after a vet visit, starved and dehydrated, a silent casualty of their isolation. For over a week, those bodies lay there, mummifying in the dry desert air, until that groundskeeper broke the spell. Now, fast forward to March 22nd, 2025. The sheriff's office drops a bombshell. Redacted body cam footage from that grim day, released despite the Hackman estate's fight to keep it buried. The clips don't show the bodies. Legal battles have seen to that. But they paint a vivid picture. One deputy sits in his cruiser on February 27th, phone pressed to his ear, talking to Elizabeth Hackman, Gene's 62-year-old daughter. Her voice is steady, but heavy, as she lays out a request that sent shockwaves through this case.
Cremate the dog and bury it with Betsy.
Cremate the dog, she says, and bury it with Betsy. Then a softer plea. If Zinna was wearing a collar, could you save that for me? The deputy confirms it's doable. Zinna's ashes can join Betsy at the county shelter's crematorium. Another clip catches the groundskeeper, voice cracking as he tells deputies about those loose dogs. They're never out like that, he stammers. I knew something wasn't right. Elizabeth's words hit like a thunderclap. Cremate Zinna and bury her with Betsy. Not Gene, not both of them, just Betsy. It's a detail that sparked headlines. TMZ calls it gruesome. The Daily Mail dubs it chilling. But why? Dig deeper, and it starts to make sense. Local pet trainer Joey Padilla, who knew the couple's dogs, told cops Zinna was Betsy's shadow, always at her hip. A bond tighter than most. Gene loved those dogs too, but with Alzheimer's clouding his final days, maybe Betsy was Zinna's world. Elizabeth's request could be a daughter honoring that connection, a final act of love in a story drowning in loss. Still, it raises eyebrows. Why not Gene too? Were he and Betsy soulmates for over 30 years, not meant to rest as one? The footage itself is a window into chaos barely contained. Deputies scramble, piecing together a timeline from a house that's offered no easy answers. The surviving dogs, Bear and Nikita, are rehomed with family. A small mercy caught on tape. But Zinna's fate lingers, her empty stomach and withered frame a stark reminder of how long this tragedy unfolded. The estate's still fighting, clinging to the privacy Gene and Betsy built over decades in Santa Fe. They've got a temporary restraining order, locking down interior footage and autopsy shots, with a hearing set for March 31st to decide if it sticks. New Mexico loves to spill its body cam secrets. Think shoplifters or car chases. But this is different. It's not a crime. It's a collapse. And the public's hunger for every frame clashes with a family's plea to let the curtains fall. So what does this mean for the $80 million fortune Gene left behind? His 2005 will named Betsy as the sole heir, sidelining his 3 kids, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie. But Betsy's gone, and she went first. Her will says if Gene didn't outlive her by 90 days, it all goes to charity. He lasted 6, leaving a legal knot now in Julia Peters' hands, the estate's attorney. Christopher's lawyered up in California. Leslie's hinted at a distant bond. And Elizabeth's voice on that body cam feels like a thread to something deeper. Will the kids fight for a peace, or let it slip to causes their parents loved? The courts might decide, but this footage, this request, adds a human ache to the cold math of inheritance. Let's linger on that house for a moment. No cameras, no high-tech locks, just a couple who wanted out of the spotlight, surrounded by desert and dogs. Gene, the tough guy of The French Connection, and Betsy, the pianist who softened his edges, built a life here. Now it's a tomb of questions. Did Gene, lost in Alzheimer's, even know Betsy was gone? Did he sit in that mudroom, cane in hand, while Zinna whimpered in her crate? The body cam doesn't show us that, but it echoes the silence they left behind. This isn't the end. The March 31st hearing looms, and more footage could surface. Maybe even those locked-away interior shots. The truth's still out there, tangled in legal briefs and desert dust. Was Elizabeth's wish a daughter's tribute, or something darker? We'll keep digging, because this story's got roots that run deep. Stay with us. The next twist could be just around the corner. Until then,